What's up? Welcome. I am so glad you are here listening and spending time with me today. Release Your Inner Power talks about life, the trenches, the decisions, and the wins that we have now, today, and that have experienced in our past. There are stories, encouragement, tools, and tips to take those next steps to release that inner power and connect with something that is said or someone, a special guest maybe, that will boost your week. I am your host, Shauna B. Here we go. Have you ever felt your mind spinning with to-do lists, responsibilities, and worries? And no matter what you do, you can't get a moment of quiet or calm? You are totally not alone. Today, we're diving into simple, actionable strategies to clear your mind and take back control of your day. Welcome to Release Your Inner Power and Tips to Boost Your Week. I am your host, Shauna B., a recharge and mindset coach that works with women to release that inner power, get to that goal, get time for themselves, and be able to stick a toe in and live a life that they didn't even know existed. I have a quick story. We just got done with the 'tis the season of all the overwhelm, but just in general on the day-to-day things of doing laundry and cleaning the house, cleaning the kitchen, cleaning the bathrooms, doing the yard work, getting the things done. The kids are in school and then they're not in school, morning routines, night routines, homework routines. Holy friggin' moly. That's a lot of things. Oh, and then did I forget about dinner? Planning that dinner is like the Achilles heels. By the time dinner, for me anyway, by the time dinner rolls around, I am just like, I don't want to make no decision about that. I have to plan ahead because my brain is done making decisions. And I know that. But there's a time where I had all of this stuff to do. I had my clients that I needed to show up 100% for, my kids that I needed to show up 100% for, the house, the yard, and it was a nice day out. So I could do everything. And I remember walking up the stairs with a laundry basket in my hand and just being so frustrated and like there was a room full of people in my brain that was just going off about what I should do. And okay, once you're done putting the towels away, then you need to go in and do the dishes. And then another person's like, what about the yard? Why aren't you doing the yard work? What happened to that? And then another, person in my head is like, excuse me, did you forget about the vacuuming? And when you go to do one, it's almost like you feel bad for not doing the rest. And it was so much chatter and loudness. It was almost like I had to be, shush, quiet. What needs to be done right now? Holy freaking smokes. What needs to be done right now? What is the thing? I'm putting the towels away since I'm holding the basket. The next step is to put the towels away and then to put the basket away. And then I started to think about it and I'm like, you know what? I need to write all of this down or it's going to keep coming up. This loud, all of this busyness and talking in my head of what I need to do and how things need to be done needs to come, it's going to keep coming up regardless of what I choose to do. So I need to get this out. But I noticed that when I stopped for a second and kind of silence the voices and what do I actually need to do was a huge game changer for me. When you are in this and there's all this like chatter and what you should do, what you should be doing, and you got to do this and piling it on, it's like juggling plates, if you will, and you got to run back and forth and keep juggling all of the things, right? With family and you're lifing on top of it with all of the to-do things, and it can get you overwhelmed. And if you don't get a handle on it or you don't have a plan and process, sometimes you get overwhelmed and then you're just totally burnt out and you want to give up and it takes you forever to recover because you're just like, no, I've done that many times because it is something that I have to keep practicing, right? I've gotten to the point one time where I've done all of that and I didn't stop and actually ask myself what needs to be done. I would just run on this overwhelm train, if you will, that was completely bananas, that ended up getting me to be totally burnt out to where it took me 3 days of where I just wanted to sit on the couch. I wanted to check out. I didn't want to do anything. I had no energy and I felt like I was exhausted all the time. Nap after nap after nap I kept craving. right? Sometimes I get them, sometimes I wouldn't. But then it took me 3 days. And then guess what? Did I beat myself up for not doing anything for those 3 days? Yeah, probably. Probably. I was done with all of that. Done with all of that. I do not want to be sitting for 3 days, not having fun or playing with my kids or doing what I need to be doing for myself to light myself up or fill myself up. No, thank you. I need to get a handle on this. And it was a lot for me at first. I felt like there was a lot also. Like I needed to do all the things. And so what I want to do today is I want to talk about overwhelm, and I want to talk about some simple steps so we can clear out that mind and we can not have days of burnout. Okay? So overwhelm is a totally natural response to too much stress, too many things. It can totally impact your health, your relationships, and how you show up in your daily life, whether you are totally like, yeah, today's going to be a good day versus I don't really want to be doing life today. You're crabby, right? This can lead to mood swings, feeling big emotions, not being able to think straight, and could lead to headaches, stomach aches, and then guess what? Difficulty sleeping, which we all need in order to recharge. This is why it is so important to address these before it totally spirals and then turns into burnout, turns into those 3 days of doing nothing. So how do you even know that you're overwhelmed? Well, you constantly could have the mental chatter where it feels like there's a party going on in your head telling you all the things that you need to do, or difficulty like concentrating on something because you're kind of being pulled to do something else. Like if you're putting the towels away, the dishes are calling you from the kitchen to do the dishes, and you feel like you're bouncing around like a ping pong ball. Maybe you're feeling physically drained where you want to just do nothing. Or maybe it's even withdrawing from hanging out with people or being social at all. You don't want to do anything. You no longer enjoy the things as much that you have done in the past. Or you're having a lot of guilt or a lot of anger for having to do all of the things. Feeling like you have to be the one to do all of the things all of the time. So in that case, feeling guilty to have to do all the things or getting really upset to having like too many things to do. This happened to me also when I was newly divorced and I have 3 kiddos at home. 2 of them are much younger. So I have a 9-year gap between my oldest and my younger 2. And I remember you have to make your own new routines, your own new way of things, your own new way of living when there's been a big change in life like that. And I remember being really frustrated, like now it is me, like almost like guilting and like shaming and blaming myself. Like now it's just me that has to do all the things. And now I have to do all of this and check all these boxes. And I was like super mad because I had all of this stuff. Well, yeah, I'm over here talking crap to myself on top of it, which isn't good. Instead of finding the thing that actually needs to be done, right? How many times is there something where we totally like shame, blame, or guilt our own self when we're talking to ourselves of having something that we're unhappy with, instead of recognizing I'm making my own path here. I'm starting something new. I might stumble a little bit because I'm starting something new, but it's going to get better, and kind of being a bigger cheerleader. And I noticed that how bad it actually was, and I needed to shift that too. But that's how I knew that I was doing too much. I was doing too much, and I needed to take a step back and really find out what I actually needed to continue doing. So I want to share with you 5 practical tips that you can use to clear your mind so you can even get started on this less overwhelm, less stress journey, so you can feel more ease and calm and I know what to do next step, instead of, I don't want to do anything, or I'm over it. I want to go to bed. I'm laying down. I'm going to be on the couch for 3 days. I don't even care, right? Number 1, this is a brain dumping exercise. What I want you to do is when you have all of that chatter, like when I had the laundry basket going up the stairs, I want you to brain dump everything. Do not edit it out or judge yourself for what you're saying. What you can do anything, random thoughts, worries, your to-do list, what you need to get done, why you feel so overwhelmed, all of it. Just get it out. Just get it out of your head. Put it on paper. There's power to releasing it and putting it on the paper that will totally clear your mind. This frees up your mental space just by putting it on paper. Okay. It will totally free up your mind. I had a client one time that did this brain dumping exercise on why things were important to her and what her worries were. And after reviewing this list or this whole paragraph that she wrote down, she was like, oh my gosh, rereading these worries, she's like, I don't really need to worry about this stuff at all. This was just running in my head and taking up space for me to actually not even think of it clearly. And as soon as I wrote this down and got it out, I could totally see things in a way better light. Amazing. Try it out. Just try it out. Number 2, prioritize with the 3-3-3 rule. What does that mean? Choose 3 tasks just for today. What are the 3 tasks that you need to do just for today that are your non-negotiables? Then what are your 3 tasks for the week that need to be done, that you can do in the whole week that need to be done? And finally, 3 tasks that you need to do for the entire month that you can spread out for the whole month. Okay? This simplifies things and helps you with the decision-making process of what needs to be done. So it kind of like reduces that pressure on yourself and probably the guilt and the talking to yourself that you can have over the entire month by using this 3-3-3 after you brain dump everything down, right? This will give you more like motivation and encouragement for yourself to keep your goals and attaining them, but in a realistic way, right? Not overdoing it, but bringing it back just a little bit. Number 3, practiced mindful breathing. Now, I'm going to give you guys a quick breathing exercise that you can do. If you're feeling overwhelmed, you got all that stuff going on, things feel, you're starting to spiral, you're starting to get super anxious, just take 1 second. I want you to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes you got to do it twice. Sometimes you got to do it 3 times. This calms your nervous system. This is a physiological response for your body that breaks the stress cycle when you pause and do this breathing exercise. Again, inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and exhale for 4 seconds. Okay, this will shift you out of that mode of starting to spiral. Number 4, the stop and reset method. Now, when overwhelm strikes, hit that pause button and ask yourself, what is one thing I can do right now? Right now. Like maybe you need a little reset to drink some water. Maybe go outside for 5 minutes. Close your eyes for 30 seconds. Do the breathing step, right? Say something encouraging to yourself. Like, I am doing the best I can with what I have. Or I am just putting the towels away right now, and I will get to the next thing when I am done. Something that is positive and encouraging to yourself for where you are right now. Number 5, create a calm zone or a calm down place. Where is that designated spot? So you can have a habit or some type of ritual that helps you decompress. It can be like a cozy chair or some type of chair with a blanket. You can have a journal there. You can play music. I have a client that has hers by her front window where she will go and sit there, and sometimes she'll journal things out or she'll just look out. She has a, nature kind of backdrop out of her window where she can look at the trees and see birds and things like that, where she can just kind of connect with that. I have another client that has a window that she also sits by, but it's out overlooking the water where she can look out and have some calming that way. Or there's places like in my own home, it's called the Calm Down Corner. It has activities to do like puzzles and building things and coloring and books and journals that we all try to use as a family. It's so helpful for many different reasons to have this space to go for mental clarity, for calming down, taking a break. When you have big emotions and you need to figure out how to process those emotions, especially if you're a kiddo, all of those things are super helpful to have in a space that is known to be able to go to it and have it readily available. So those are like the short-term 5 quick practical tips that you can use to help clear your mind and get you moving in the right direction. Some long-term strategies to prevent overwhelm is setting boundaries. Saying no or setting boundaries with something that is okay and what is not okay. Sometimes you can say no to the yard work because it doesn't need to be done right now. And that's fine. That's fine because you are what? Doing the one thing right now that if you're using the 3-3-3, you have the one thing that you're doing or the 3 things you're doing for that day, and the yard work might be for the month or the yard work might be for the week. Who knows what it is? Concentrate and focus on the things that you are working on today and not worrying about tomorrow. What do you need? What are your prioritizing steps and things that you have for yourself in order for you to stick to that? Reminder that saying no to things to get what is truly important to you or what your priorities are done is completely fine. That is actually filling yourself up just by saying no and reclaiming your time. Okay? Practicing gratitude. So a gratitude practice rewires your brain to focus on the positive in the situation, in the people, in the scenario. It really helps you see the silver lining, if you will, of whatever is happening. And practicing gratitude helps you to do that practice when you are not stressed out, overwhelmed, feeling like you're meh. You do it through the good and the bad to help you shift that perspective, to shift that practice so you can see the more positive in things. You can start with bigger things like, you can be grateful that you woke up today. And then you start moving into more things like, I am grateful I have time to spend with my children. I am grateful for the sunshine today for me to get outside. I am grateful that I have these 3 steps that I only have to get these 3 things done today. And I don't have to worry about anything else. And I'm giving myself grateful for the grace of not stressing out about it. Things like that. See how you can do with the whole gratitude and seeing how that goes for you. Seeking support. Really think about this. Sometimes this is one of the hardest steps and it is so beneficial. And sometimes I think the hardest things are what we get the most out of. Seeking support, sharing your feelings with somebody else, with a friend or a coach or a counselor, to try to figure out what that support can be for you in order to ease that time for you, ease those feelings, help process them, help work through it, but also asking for help. There are people that love and care about you that would happily be able to help you with certain things, or maybe they know somebody that can help. And sometimes we can get stuck in the, I don't want to ask for help, I can do all the things, which is contributing to our overwhelm and our burnout when it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to seek out support. There are people out there that love and care about you that will help you. You just have to be willing to ask. So I want to recap on some of these things that I gave you guys today. 5 practical tips to clear out your mind. Brain dump. Prioritize with the 3-3-3 rule. Practice your breathing. Stop and reset. And create a calm zone, calm chair, calm down corner-ish situation. Long-term strategies. Set boundaries around those places that you need boundaries. Start doing a gratitude practice. And then seek out support, whether that is to talk it out, whether that is to work through it, whether that is to ask for help. Okay? It's okay to start small. It's okay to start small. One step, as I like to say, stick a toe in and just see where you can get that to start. Overwhelm does not define who you are. You totally have the power to take the small steps, stick a toe in, and reclaim your calm. Start with one of these tips because you totally deserve to feel balanced and in control of your life. I'm going to leave a little audio that I have that is a freebie that you can listen to or download onto your phone so you can have it available to you if you need a helpful reminder. If you can't find this podcast episode that can help you with, I will leave the link in the show notes so you can have it for yourself. And I want you to remember that you don't have to do it all to have it all, to feel good. Take care of yourself. You're totally worth it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the conversation, learned something new, or got some gems to take away that will boost your week. I release a new episode each week, so make sure to click that follow button to not miss what is coming next. If you love the show or want to share a story, send me a quick message. I love hearing from listeners. If you know someone who needs this episode in their life, go ahead and share it with them. I'm sure they would love you for it. If you are looking to connect more, check out the show notes for all the social links, my website. I would love to hear how this episode helped you and what you loved about it. If there's a topic you want to hear about, send that too. All right, ladies, now is the time to release your inner power.